Hey everyone, I'm Bethany from NewLife Church Chiang Rai, continuing our devotional series this week. One of my favorite stories is the story of Zacchaeus. And one thing I really love about that story is that Jesus invites himself to the home of Zacchaeus, a notorious sinner and tax collector, and he shares a meal with him. And Jesus is very intentional to call Zacchaeus a son of Abraham in front of the onlookers. And Jesus does this to prove a very important point, that Zacchaeus is part of God's family and not an outsider like many people believed him to be. So when Jesus says salvation has come to this house today, he isn't just talking about a personal salvation for Zacchaeus, but he's saying that Zacchaeus has become part of the community of faith, the community of believers. Isn't it significant that everywhere Jesus went, he shared meals with people like Zacchaeus and really every kind of person imaginable? And he modeled for us a meal that he meant for us to keep sharing, and that is the communion meal. And Thursday, which is today of Holy Week, is when we recognize the Last Supper that Jesus shared with his disciples and the first communion meal that he offered. So I want to read a couple verses from Matthew 26. Now as they were eating, Jesus took bread, and after blessing it, broke it and gave it to the disciples, and said, "Take, eat, this is my body." So this verse says that Jesus blessed the bread, broke the bread, and gave the bread. And I think we all know that the bread is symbolic of Jesus' body on the cross. But there's another meaning here also, because we, as a community of faith, as the church, are called Christ's body. So as I see the bread being blessed, being broken, and being given, I also see us, as a church, the body of Christ, being blessed, being broken, and being given. We are a blessed people because we are part of God's family. We receive his grace and his mercy. But we are also a broken people because we are aware of our sin and our failures and how much we need him. And then we are a given people because we are given or sent out by God into the world as his agents of healing and restoration. Blessed, broken, and given. It would be really easy to just stay in that blessed part, right? It would have been really easy for Jesus to just stay in that blessed part. But he didn't. He was broken and given to the world for its healing. And through that, he was a model for us as a church of how to be humble, self-sacrificing, and poured out for the healing of the world. We have this amazing task of partnering with God to reach the Zacchaeuses of the world. And it's not always easy, but I believe that it's something that God is calling each of us into. And when we take this bread and this wine, it's important to remember that that action is not just about me and my salvation, but it's about acknowledging that I am part of the body of Christ. I am part of a larger body of believers, a community of faith that is poured out for the healing of the world. This meal reminds us of so much. It keeps us centered on Christ and his sacrifice. And it reminds us that we are part of a larger community, part of a tradition and a community of faith that seeks out the Zacchaeuses of the world hiding up in the trees, seeks them out, and loves them as Christ does. Blessed, broken, and given. Thank you so much for joining us online this Holy Week, and we really hope to see you online Sunday morning for our Easter service. If you have any questions about NewLife Church, or if you're looking to join a life group during this time, feel free to contact Pastors Enoch and Summer Kenway through the Facebook page. They would really love to connect with you and get you into a life group. Thanks.